let's try this now. All right, thank you everybody so much for joining us for our first virtual cooking demonstration. Today's recipe is healthy cooking and spicy turkey tacos, presented by Chef Alexis Roberts with the University Georgia Extension, Fulton County. And then Elizabeth Puckett will be supplying the library resources, and she's with the Fulton County Library Systems Adult Outreach Program. And I'm Jessica House. I am your Employee and Retiree Wellness Coordinator. So you see our yummy recipes on the left, and we are recording this, and the recording and all of the resources will be sent to you in a few days. So let's get started. Reminder, we have a couple of upcoming virtual cooking demonstrations in November and December, and I apologize, the November 11th one, thankful for a very helpful employee. She reminded me that November 11th is Veterans Day, and that is a paid holiday for Fulton County employees. So I will be sure work with the girls, and we're going to get a new date out to everybody. But definitely the December 2nd one is from 12:30 to 1. And all you need to do is email employeewellness@fultoncountyga.gov, and the Zoom link and other resources will be sent to you. And just a couple of reminders, we have a mobile health challenge going on right now that started at the beginning of the week, and it's the Fall Foliage Tour Step Challenge. It's a 4-week program. All you need to do is log in your steps, or if you're running, those can be converted. You log those in each day, you get helpful tips. And at the end of the 4 weeks, every person who have at least 150 miles completed will be entered into a raffle to win a Fitbit Alta. And then in November, we're going to continue with the challenge. This one's Maintain, Don't Gain. It's a 6-week program that will help everybody through the holidays either not to gain weight or maintain your weight. So through the 6-week program, you're entering your weight each Monday, get helpful tips again, get some recipes, and those at the end of the 6 weeks who either maintain their weight or did not gain will be entered into a raffle to win a Fitbit Alta. And then one more thing, Kaiser Permanente Fitness Resources. Big thank you to Kaiser. They have a huge library of pre-recorded fitness videos for us that can go over total body, yoga, stretching. And all you need to do at the bottom here, there's a link, and you access the link and you'll have different available library resources for their fitness classes. And then the one on the right is called ClassPass. And that is for Kaiser Permanente members only. The other one is available for everybody, regardless if you're with Anthem. But the ClassPass has 4,000 online videos, fitness videos, and then you can also get a 20% discount if you want to do in-person or live streaming classes. And the only thing you need to do is go to kp.org/exercise, and you'll have access to them. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Chef Alexis. Let me stop sharing.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to just highlight my video here so that you guys can see me. So thank you so much, Jessica, for having me. So my name is Alexis Roberts, and I am the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent with UGA Extension. And so I also work for Fulton County government. So essentially my job is I'm a community health educator. I'm also a registered dietitian. So I conduct classes in nutrition, food safety, food preservation, healthy housing, and financial literacy. But one of my ultimate favorite things to talk about is cooking and nutrition. So I'm really excited that you guys are here with us on this Wednesday afternoon. So today we're making spicy turkey tacos. This is one of my favorite recipes. I am the type of person that I don't like to spend a ton of time in the kitchen, and I like recipes to be easy but also healthy. So I'm going to introduce our ingredients for us today. So today we have ground turkey. So I've already browned it, just gone ahead and taken that step. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. So our spices that are going to season our turkey is going to be oregano, garlic powder, cumin, chili powder, and then I'm going to put a little pepper in it because I like pepper. And then I do have some salt, but I'm going to get rid of that. And there's going to be enough sodium or salt in our recipe that we don't really need to add any. And we're actually going to cook it in this tomato sauce. So we're going to top our tacos. So I have soft tortillas, and I'll talk about why I chose soft tortillas. We're going to top it with some low-fat cheese, some romaine lettuce, and I also have tomatoes, onions, and avocado as well, and a little bit of taco sauce. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to turn my skillet up to a medium heat. So before I started, I washed my hands. You always want to make sure you wash your hands before cooking. And you want to wash your hands. Can anyone guess for me how long you want to wash your hands for? What's the minimum amount of time? And I feel like since COVID, this has like been said a ton of times. And then I can't see the chat, so someone will have to tell me what people say.
I can look at the chat.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to start off by just putting a tablespoon of oil in here. Do any
20 seconds?
20 seconds, awesome. Yeah, that's exactly it. So enough time where you can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star or say your ABCs. All right, so I'm just gonna move the oil around my pan. So you always wanna make sure that you measure out your oil. So for about each tablespoon of oil or fat that you use, it's gonna be about 120 calories. So say if I'm not measuring out my oil and I'm just kind of dumping it in, I can add a lot of calories really quickly. So this is gonna be over medium heat. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my turkey. And I do have a skillet and it heats up pretty quickly. Like I said, I've already browned my turkey. So the turkey that I used was 93% lean turkey. When you start getting into like your turkey meats, there aren't a ton of difference necessarily in calories between like 85% lean and 93% lean, but there actually is going to be a significant difference in the amount of saturated fat. And so that's why we want to go leaner, because we are cutting a little bit of calories, but we're also removing saturated fat, which we call our heart clogging fats. And we want to limit that as much as possible. So next, I'm going to add my tomato sauce. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. It's a little hot, and I feel like it's hot. So this is one of my favorite things about this recipe. Anytime we're trying to be healthy, I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. We want to make sure that we add more nutrients. And by cooking this in the tomato sauce, we're going to be adding that vegetable. And so then we're going to make our own seasoning. So anytime we're doing like a pre-made seasoning or like the taco seasonings, those are going to be higher in sodium. And there are other ways to make sure that we flavor our foods while reducing sodium. So first, I'm going to do my chili powder, which is about a teaspoon of chili powder. And this it's going to be like a really great savory flavor. So I have my teaspoon of chili powder. Once I'm done with something, I'm going to move it over to my right to make sure I used all my ingredients. Next, I'm going to do cumin. Oh no, I have cumin. Oh, okay, I was like, I have it, but I already grabbed it. So it's right here. All right, so next I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of cumin, of ground cumin. So typically when you cook, cumin and chili powder will kind of go together. Next, I'm going to also do a half a teaspoon of oregano. So one of my other things about this recipe that I like is that it's using ingredients that typically people have in their kitchen. So you don't have to go and buy many new ingredients. And also this is a very budget-friendly recipe as well. So we're going to do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. So anytime that you're buying garlic powder, always make sure you buy garlic powder and not garlic salt. So when we use the powder, we're not adding any additional sodium. And we know that most of us have too much sodium a day. And so this is a recipe to help kind of cut back on that. So now that I have all my spices in, I'm going to and just mix it up really well. So this is a recipe in total. You'll see that it's going to take you less than about 10 minutes or so to put it together. So this is a great kind of like on the go recipe, things that you can keep in your freezer like the turkey or the tomato sauce in your pantry. So I'm just going to cover this up and then I'm going to move on to my next thing. So it's almost done. It's going to simmer for about 5 minutes. And this tomato sauce is going to add a lot of flavor. And anytime we're using tomatoes or cooking with tomato sauce, we do want to give it a little bit of time to cook because it tastes better. It's kind of one of those things that tastes better over time the longer that it cooks. So I'm going to put the top on this. I'm going to turn it back down, and I'm just going to let it simmer for 5 minutes, and then it's going to be just about done. So next, I'm going to get into what I'm going to put on my tacos. So first, I'm going to always make sure that we want to add some sort of color in vegetables, so that's how we're going to add nutrients. So I chose tomatoes, which is actually one of the most popular vegetables in America. I think it's because it goes on burgers. onions, and then also avocados. So basically, sometimes people make pico de gallo, or you can buy pre-made pico de gallo to go on top of your tacos, but it's really easy and more affordable to make it yourself. So the only ingredient I'm missing in here is jalapenos, but definitely feel free to add those if you like. So I'm gonna cut up my onion first. So this is the way I prefer to cut my onions. You wanna kind of cut it so you have two of the ends on each side. I hope you guys can see that. I know I have the white refrigerator in the background. So I'm gonna cut it kind of down the center, but where I have two ends on each side. I've already washed my produce, so you always want to make sure you wash your produce before you get started. I'm gonna cut just off the top, just a little bit of top. Now I'm gonna put this in my discard bowl. That's gonna go over here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn my onion, and then I'm gonna cut along the ridges that it has. So this is gonna make dicing so much easier. So I don't wanna go too far down because I do want my onion to stay together. But I'm going to cut all around the ridges. I'm gonna flip it over so I can keep cutting around the ridges. And that's what's gonna make it a really nice dice. So next, I'm gonna take my knife and cut. I'm gonna grip it really tight because I've already sliced some of it, so it's gonna be a little harder to cut. And I'm just gonna cut it halfway through. And then next, I'm just going to do sliver by sliver, and I should have my dice. So I used to sometimes didn't enjoy cooking as much just because it would take me so much longer. But now that once I've got my technique down, it takes me a lot less time. So I'll kind of show some of my dice. This isn't my favorite knife. I'm in my work kitchen. Normally in my home kitchen, I have a knife that I really like. But I'll kind of show you guys some dices that we got. So really easy. I used to spend a lot of time cutting up onions, but not as much anymore. So always make sure you have a sharp knife. Makes it a lot easier in the kitchen, and then it's also a lot safer too. So now that I got my onions ready, I'm gonna set this aside. Then next I'm gonna do my tomatoes. I'll put that over there. So I'm gonna cut my tomato just like I cut my onion. So except I'm gonna take the top off first. And then I'm gonna cut that top just a little bit more because I still have a little bit of stem in there. Here we go. And then I'm going to kind of cut it in half. Avocados on the run. And then I'm going to slice half of it, do my little slivers to get my dices, turn it over, do my slivers to get my dices, and then turn it. And then when I cut, I'm gonna make sure I slice all the way through. To get my diced tomatoes. So my knife isn't as sharp, so it's a little bit challenging for me to slice all the way through, but I can just kind of follow up at the end just to make sure that it's the right amount that I'm looking for. And then there are a few kind of core pieces that I can kind of go ahead and pick out. But just like that, then I'm going to mix it with my onions, and I can just scoop out this for my topping a little bit later. And so I still have a lot of tomato left over, so you could definitely keep chopping. So I'm just gonna check on our turkey here. I'm just gonna keep spinning it around. And then I'm going to cut my avocado. So avocados are something that we kind of definitely know that are healthy and very popular right now, but avocados can also be higher in calories. So we wanna make sure that we don't have too much. So a serving size, actually I'll let you guys guess. Can someone tell me how much is a serving size of an avocado? And as I cut my avocado, I'm gonna cut it kind of down, kind of the long ways.
So
and then,
sorry.
Yes.
We have some answers. We got a quarter, a half, a third.
Okay, so I heard the answer. It's gonna be about a third, actually. So I feel like normally when people eat avocados, they halve them or they can eat more than half. But you do want to make sure that you're not eating too much, because sometimes too much of a good thing is not so great. So the way I cut my avocado, I just cut it like this, take it out the center. So I have my kind of seed that's in there. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to scoop it out with a spoon. And then I'm going to flip it over and then do my slices. So when you're picking out avocados, you want to make sure that it has a really good texture. You don't want it to be too soft, because then they might be brown on the inside, but you also don't want it to be too firm if it's something that you plan to use in the next couple days. So when you pick it out, you kind of want to squeeze it, and if it has a little bit of give, normally that's a pretty good sign. So next, I've got my avocado slices ready to go to top with my tacos. So I'm pretty sure that my tacos are ready to go, but I'm just going to talk about a little bit more of our ingredients. So with what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it with cheese. So this is reduced fat cheese. So normally, you know, outside of COVID, we offer classes where we do like a portion distortion and substitution class. And we normally encourage people to try kind of lower fat foods or lower fat options. So kind of doing like a ranch versus a low fat ranch and cheese versus a low fat cheese. And we do kind of like a little blind taste test. And most of the time, people cannot taste the difference. So with these tacos, I'm gonna recommend a reduced fat cheese, just because cheese is really great, and I'm definitely a lover of cheese, but it is high in saturated fat and calories. So that's something that we can cut back on and still enjoy the flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my turkey outside of this so then I can toast my tortillas. So now that it's kind of sat there and simmered for about 5 minutes, I'm going to take it out. So there are a few different ways that you can toast your tortillas. I like to do mine on the skillet, but you can also do it in the microwave. So in the microwave, they recommend putting a paper towel, wet paper towel, in between each tortilla, and then microwaving it for about 1 minute or so. And I did start with a pound of ground turkey. I don't remember if I said the amount before. So I'm going to take a paper towel just to wipe off my sauce. I'm going to toss it away over here.
Alexis, before we toast tortillas, we have a question from chat. Victor Creanies, I'm sorry I butchered your last name, 7-year-old would like to know, is a tomato a fruit?
So, so that is a really interesting question. So in terms of like the anatomy of a tomato, it actually is a fruit, but we tax it and classify it nutritionally as a vegetable. So we tax it like, so officially, like in agricultural world, it is considered a vegetable, but like anatomy, biologically, it's a fruit, if that helps.
And how about, someone asked also about an avocado. Is that a fruit?
Avocado is a fruit, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I like to toast my tortillas. So the reason I chose soft tortillas versus hard tortillas is that soft tortillas actually are gonna have less calories. They're gonna have less saturated fat. So it all does depend on the type of tortilla that you get and how big it is. So for example, I was looking at this brand versus a hard tortilla brand, and this does has less saturated fat. So that's kind of one of the pros I like about soft tortillas. So I did get a little bit of kind of tomato on there, but it's totally fine. So I'm going to take, I'll go ahead and heat up another tortilla. So if you're like on the run, you want to do it really quick, the microwave is probably the best way to go. When heating up your tortillas on the skillet, they recommend using a non-stick surface, but you don't need to spray anything down. So next, I'm going to just get some of the turkey. And then I'm going to top it with my tomatoes and onions. So I'm an onion person, but if you're not an onion person, you know, make sure you get more tomatoes. Or also there are other fruits, or not fruits, vegetables you can add to this, like jalapenos would be great. Green chilies if you kind of want to mix it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to add maybe a slice or two of avocado. And then my tortilla is ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. And then with my cheese, cheese is something that we also want to make sure that we measure out. So I already used my tablespoon, so I'm just gonna use half a tablespoon. So cheese, kind of for this recipe with our tacos, we just want to do about 2 tablespoons of cheese per taco. So I have a half of a tablespoon here with my measure. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top. So because this is a half of a tablespoon, I have about 2 more to go. And just like that, that is it. So per taco, we do want to measure out our cheese because that's something that can get out of control really quickly. And I almost forgot our lettuce. So I bought romaine lettuce because normally you kind of see like iceberg on it. Let me use my knife to get this open so you guys don't have to watch me struggle. Normally you kind of see like romaine lettuce, not romaine, excuse me, iceberg lettuce, but iceberg lettuce doesn't have a lot of nutrients. And so a healthier lettuce would be romaine. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of lettuce on top. And you can even fold this into a burrito if you like, or kind of just fold it up and eat it as a taco. And this is our final product. So like I said, you can add other things. So sometimes people ask me about sour cream. So with sour cream, it's gonna be mostly fat. So a healthier option would be light sour cream. But the healthiest option would be to do like a Greek yogurt, because Greek yogurt is going to have that same texture and it's also going to be twangy. So that's another healthy substitution that you can do instead of having sour cream. To make this even healthier, you could actually mix the tortilla and you could have it over your romaine lettuce as like a salad, as like a taco salad. But yeah, do we have any questions? Like I said, this is one of my favorite recipes. This is like one of my go-tos in the kitchen. Normally I'm in and out in less than like 15, 20 minutes.
Someone said,
and I forgot taco sauce. I totally forgot. If you're a fan of taco sauce, I like a little extra kind of flavor with my tacos. I also like taco sauce. Make sure you just adhere to the calories. 2 tablespoons is about 30 calories. So not a lot there. There is going to be a little bit of sodium, so it's going to be a little bit healthier to leave it off, but it does add some flavor.
and then we got someone saying, excellent dinner for tonight, and I have everything. And then thank you. Yeah, yum. And then someone said, waiting for the next one. Or Victor said, for both of those things. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah. So that's it for me. Jessica has already showed you guys the recipe and she'll be sending it out if you don't already have it. And like I said, this is a really great recipe. I'll just talk about sodium for one quick second. So a lot of times, most of us as Americans have too much sodium. So this is a recipe to help kind of cut back on that from using pre-mixed things. And typically we didn't add salt in this because a lot of the things we just added to it already have sodium. So our taco sauce is gonna have a little bit of sodium. Our cheese is gonna have a little bit of sodium too. And our canned tomato sauce does have a little bit of sodium. So there's no need to add any more. And thank you guys for watching. And I think Elizabeth is going to be up next if there are no more questions.
Someone said, do you wrap the taco? Donna asked, do you wrap the taco?
Do I wrap it like in like foil, like to grill it, or oh, can I like fold it like a burrito?
I think that's what she's asking.
Yeah, you definitely can if you want. So I stuff this a little full, but if you want to fold it, normally they recommend, or what I've seen is kind of fold the sides together first. So this one's a little full for folding, but this will be better. But it's kind of like a little burrito. And then you can kind of make a little burrito with it if that's what you'd like as well. But yeah.
And Paula Peaks Roberts also said thank you for the demonstration today, Alexis.
Awesome. Well, Elizabeth is going to round us out. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, I will be very quick. If someone will let me share a screen.
Oh.
Sorry, Alexis, I know you just wrapped up.
No, it's fine. I think you should be able to. I think you should be able to. Let me not spotlight my video. Maybe that'll change things. Hold on. Sorry. And what if I spotlight you? Does that change anything? Can you do it now?
Nope.
Nope. Cancel spotlight. Okay. What about now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm not sure. Let me make you the host. It says you should be able to, but let me make you the host. And then you should be great to go. What about now?
Let's see. There we are.
Awesome.
And honestly, I probably just couldn't find the button. So what we're gonna do is I pulled a couple cookbooks for you all, because that is one of my favorite things to do at the library, is kind of roll through our resources for cooking classes or cookbooks. So this is Southwestern Cooking Resources, Turkey Tacos and More. We will have a couple different ebooks for you. These will primarily be from Libby and Hoopla, and I will show you those two as well. So we're going to have Tex-Mex 101, which is going to be a cooking class through Universal Class as well that we'll go over. So we have a few things like LA Mexicano, so kind of LA, California specific Tex-Mex, turnip greens and tortillas, so a southern twist on kind of Mexican food, or food of Southwest Indian nations. I was really interested in this one because it's going to pull from different native groups from the Southwest, so like Pueblo and things like that. There's a prickly pear ice cream that I kind of can't wait to try. And then another one I thought was interesting is Decolonize Your Diet is based on traditional Mesoamerican cuisine and things that were native to Mesoamerica. So that one looks really interesting too, but let me show you where all of those are. If you start out on our website, which is fulcolibrary.org, first things first, if you need a library card, go under library card. You'll have an online application right now. Just fill that out and they will email you a library card number. For most of our books today, you will start out in Libby, which looks like this, and you can use it on any tablet or computer. And Libby has a huge collection of cookbooks. Off topic for today, but I just got one called Beyond Borscht that's all about Eastern European or Slavic cooking that I can't wait to try things from. So here are 778 cookbooks to go through in just Libby. And some of them will be very popular, trendy things like salt, fat, acid, heat, and others will be diet specific or just fun things. Like every year we get a new crop of like holiday cookie books right in time for the holidays. And for that, you'll just need your library card and PIN number to start checking them out. Okay, Allison. Yes, we are only doing curbside, but to get a permanent card, just give us a call at whatever branch is closest to you. Let them know that you need a permanent card. They will modify that D999 temp number you got with a new card, and when it's convenient for you, you can swing by and they will actually drop the card into your trunk for you to use at home. You also can go ahead and start placing physical items on hold, everyone, and swing by your branch, give us a call, and we will run it out and put it in your trunk for you too. So you have physical cookbooks you can check out too. Did that help at all, Allison? All right, and we're going to take a quick look at Hoopla. And don't judge me by what I'm reading. Hoopla is also going to be ebooks, audiobooks, and streaming video. And Hoopla has a very interesting collection of cookbooks. It will be things that are super trendy and then kind of the ebook equivalent of the like church ladies cookbook that's got that ring binding. So there's some very interesting things to go through for Hoopla's cookbooks. In fact, I think we just had a collection they were featuring up top here. And let's go to category so you can take a look. And I promise I will get to the universal class 1, 2. So here are all of your categories. And the cool thing about Hoopla is there is no wait time. So if you want it and it's there, put in your library card and PIN number, sign into your account, check out the book and start cooking. I really liked Indianish too, if y'all are into Indian food. And Universal Class, you will find through our little digital library tab here. You will just click on that. Head to Adult Learning. And tap Universal Class. And Universal Class, as well as Creative Bug, are going to have different cooking classes for you. And it will be everything from like decorating cookies to specific cuisines, like the Tex-Mex class. But Universal Class will also cover a bit of everything from resume writing to alternative medicine. And the flyer we started out with today will, of course, be available to everyone in just a couple days. And each of the titles are going to be a clickable link that will take you straight to the item we were discussing. I'm also going to give you all this Get the App flyer, which is going to have some more information about all of our newer resources or most popular resources, as well as a QR code to get straight to getting a library card. And all of these little highlighted links will be clickable too. So you can sign up for free New York Times, free streaming movies with Canopy, all kinds of stuff. All right. And I will be quiet now. Thank you so much for letting me be part of this today. And I hope everybody enjoys their turkey tacos.
Yes. Thanks everybody for joining. So be on the lookout for November's virtual cooking date. We'll get that out to everybody soon.
All right, thank you so much.
Before you log off, Elizabeth, can you make me the host again? Because if not, you'll get the recording.
Yes, hang on 1 second. Let me find that button.
Thank you. And you guys have a great day.
Bye everybody. See you in November.
All right, you are a host again.
All right, awesome. All right, well, see you guys.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.